Hey friends! My name is Desiree, aka Mama Friendly. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're an old friend. I do all sorts of stuff on my channel, from cooking videos to planner videos, hauls, vlogs, homeschool videos, a little bit of everything. So if any of this sounds like fun to you, I hope that you'll subscribe and join me on my YouTube adventure. This video is the sixth maybe in a series of collaborations hosted by my friend Tiffany at Small Town 6. For a few months now, she's been challenging us to do recipe videos either with a specific ingredient or creating a specific dish. And this month, the theme is Salty Snack Challenge. I had a few ideas, but I ended up narrowing it down to something that I've really missed since I went gluten and dairy free 6 years ago, 7 years ago maybe at this point. A long time. I found a recipe for gluten-free and dairy-free Cheez-Its. Right? Like, literally how? They're called Cheez-Its. But this is meant to be a challenge, right? So, I set out with my ingredients and I made crackers that are delicious, savory, and yes, definitely taste cheesy. I'm pretty sure I nailed this brief. Now this is a collab like I mentioned, which means of course there's a playlist. So if you check out the description box of my video, you're gonna find not only the link to Tiffany's channel, but also a link to the playlist of everybody participating in this Salty Snack Challenge. So now that you know what I'm up to, let me show you how I made my gluten-free, dairy-free Cheez-Its. Alright pals, I always like to start my recipe videos with a breakdown of ingredients. So for this recipe, you'll need 1 3/4 cup of almond flour, 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. It's literally inactive yeast. It gives vegan and vegetarian dishes a nice cheesy flavor. You need 1/2 teaspoon of salt, plus whatever seasoning you might want for the top of your crackers, 1 egg, a tablespoon of butter or coconut oil melted. I'm using a vegan butter, which is my absolute favorite, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees and let's get baking, shall we? I have this like bowl / mug here. I'm going to put my tablespoon of butter to melt, and this is where I'm going to combine all of my wet ingredients. So make sure you use a vessel big enough for that. This butter, by the way, is the Kite Hill brand butter. I legit teared up the first time I tasted it because it's been so long since I've had actual butter and nothing has come close until I had this. So if you are vegan, newly dairy-free, what have you, please try this butter out. Anyways, in another bowl, in a bigger bowl, I'm mixing my dry ingredients. So that's the 1 3/4 cup of almond flour, your 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, and your 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Just combine them and go ahead and set it aside. So now that my butter has cooled down some, I'm going to mix in my 1 egg and my 2 tablespoons of lemon juice until thoroughly combined. Once that's ready to go, we're going to combine the wets with the dries and stir it all up until our dough forms. I'm taking a very large sheet of parchment paper. I'm going to dump my dough out onto it and cover it with an equally large piece of parchment paper. I probably should have rolled in the other direction because I had more space, but it's fine. We made it work. You take your rolling pin now and you roll out your dough until it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. I left mine a little too thick. I probably should have gone farther, but it still worked out fine. However, the thinner it is, the crunchier it'll be, so keep that in mind. I am using a pizza cutter or pizza slicer to cut my dough into my desired cracker size and shape. You can use a sharp knife if you'd like. You could even use a ruler to make them more uniform. I'm just kind of going with a rustic situation here. Once you have all your crackers on your sheet pan, which I went ahead and recycled that top sheet of parchment paper for so they wouldn't stick, You can top them with more sea salt if you'd like. I actually topped mine with garlic salt to make them extra savory. And then you're ready for the oven. So you put them in there 350 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes until they are golden. All right, friends, our recipe is done. I am so proud of how these turned out. I am definitely saving this recipe. It has already become part of my family cookbook, if you will. What really surprised me is how much my dad liked these crackers. My dad is a cheese aficionado, and he is most certainly not gluten-free. But I think he ended up eating probably about 2/3 of the tray all on his own. I can't say I blame him. They were really, really good. Next time, however, I think I might roll them out even thinner to see if I can get a better crisp on them. They did crisp up more once they cooled down, but they could have been a little crunchier. I'm also curious to experiment using regular gluten-free flour instead of the almond flour to see how that changes the texture. But overall, I'm really happy I found this recipe. I'm really happy I tried it out. This is going to become a staple in my household. And it would have never have happened or occurred to me if Tiffany hadn't challenged us to make these salty snacks. So thank you, as always, Tiffany, for hosting. And I want to remind you all, of course, to check out that playlist now that you've seen my recipe so you could check out what all of my friends made. What's your favorite salty snack when you have a craving? Whether it's store-bought or homemade, I'd love to hear about it, so let me know in the comments. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope you'll please give it a big thumbs up. I'd also love it if you would subscribe and click that notification bell because I post at least 3 times a week and I wouldn't want you to miss a minute. Thanks so much again for watching. Bye!